So, what's good, YouTube? Welcome to the channel, your girl Natasha Nisha. So, on today's installment to the channel, I'll be speaking about faith and like why sometimes faith doesn't work for us. And what I've come to realize is that faith only works when we do the work. So, this whole thing about faith, actually, there's a secret in there. What I'm coming to find and realize is that it's a situation or opportunity whereby we work with God. And that's many cases like how it is in this Christian walk. It's not just that God doing that. We need to work with Him. We are His hands and feet. So together we get results. Is what I've come to learn. So basically, on this one, we'll be unpacking faith and like how do we get our faith to work for us. So from the start, I'm gonna explain what is faith. Faith, I like to say, it's taking a step even though I don't see the end of that staircase. It's basically believing when we don't see it. And scripture describes faith as, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence not seen. And we can find that in Hebrews 11 and 1. Now, there's many things on faith that we learn. And one that I learned and that we learn is like to have this blind childlike faith. So what is that? So this blind childlike faith is, that faith as a child that you have in your parents many a times. You believe that you believe in their ability because they bigger than and you may not be able to do the thing, but you trust that they will be able to do the thing. And then also you believe that they will do their thing for you because you're in relationship with them, and it's a love relationship. They love you, so they will do their thing that you ask of them. So this is similar to the relationship with God our Father. He is bigger, we know. He is almighty, all powerful. So we can have that childlike faith in His ability to know that yes, He is God bigger, but He's also able and willing and able. He wants to, He's willing and able. So that is a bit of the childlike faith. But what I've come to learn is that this childlike faith also has some disadvantages when we think that's all where it stops. So we need like the whole picture of faith. So I'm gonna explain that a little bit more if it's not so clear now. So basically, we know that scripture also tells us that faith without works is dead. And I think this is the key right here, you know, faith without works. So there is some works that we need to do on our part to have this faith work for us many a times in many cases. So these works are what is required of us to put in. And so basically we have to then act in accordance to our belief, and this is the only way we will reach these goals, or else it's dead, just as the term says, from without works. So it's works on our part. So this is where many times when I look back on my life, at the times where my faith didn't work for me, is when I just idly trusted and believed in God's ability and God's part and God's bigness and in God's love for me that He will do. But I then sat there waiting, expecting a miracle or the blessing to fall into my lap and not doing the work, not getting myself in alignment to this belief that I have that this thing will come. So I'm going to act already now as if it's here. And that is faith itself without seeing it, believing. And how do you show your belief? But by acting it out. So, yeah. So we need to act the thing already, do the thing because we believe, and this truly is faith. You know, like if you, example, gonna go for the job interview. Now you have faith, you prayed on this thing, and you have faith that yes, God's gonna give you that job. No? And so you basically like dress and have the confidence kind of a thing, but like as if it's yours. You go in there even on that interview as if this job is yours. You the one, you know, kind of a thing, kind of a thing. Me and examples, but either ways, yeah. So, but just get the drift of what I'm saying. So, just to unpack a little bit more about faith. So, what I come to realize is that, you know, like there's levels even to everything I like to say, and even to this faith. So, if the first step is for us to believe, then there's another step after that also. So, the first step is for us to believe now. And then the next step is for us now, because we believe, to start doing the work, living in alignment, acting according as if that thing is there, getting ourselves in alignment. That is super important. But many times we don't do that second part. We get stuck on the first step, whereby believe. But because now we don't see it in the physical, we don't see it in the present, so we start believing, doubting, and that is now us getting on and off the first step. If belief is the first step, so now we're not seeing it, we're doubting, we get off the first step, we never ever get to the second step. In many cases, some people go their whole lives through just on and off, believe, doubt, believe at that very first step. They never get to the second step, whereby now they're doing their part, they living in alignment and walking out this faith, taking that next step, walking out the faith, in faith, even when we don't see it, doing our part and stepping out in faith is what I come to find that this is the reason many a times, you know, many of us Christians are living not abundant lives, but we're actually living miserable lives. And it's clear to see that something is missing. But I think this is the key, that part on our behalf. I find that somewhere along the lines we were conditioned and taught, you know, to be powerless and even to be lazy, you know, and just to wait on God for everything. It's just gonna land in our laps. And you know, yeah, this is really not the way it is. And so basically, what are some solutions to this whole thing? So how can we now get our faith to work for us? As I said, we need to work with God. Work with God. So the first part is for us to make these goals, have these goals, determine what we want. That's the first part. And in the second part, we need to make a plan. Have a plan. How will you execute now toward reaching that goal? What are the steps you are going to take? How are you going to get yourself in alignment with this goal that you have? And then also, something also that I recently learned is that it's super key to stay on believing until you see that thing. And it's not going to be overnight, but that's faith again there. While you don't see it, you believe until you see the thing. Keep on believing. We give up far too early is what I found. You know, it's like, yeah, it's really, and this is sad, you know, because like as Christians we should be, you know, like better than the world, better for you know, like in inverted commas, because we are people who are blessed. We have Christ backing. We can tap into his supernatural blessings and power and strength and what have you. And yet many times you find that it's the Christians who are living as poor. We are the poor church mice out here, unfortunately. And it's about time that we change this. You know that the people of the world, yes, fair enough, we all fair, we all equal. It's just about whether we will believe in the things that we want. The people of the world or setting their goals. They believing in their goals and they believing until they see it. So, you know, us as Christians now, we are, I don't know, we feel we are more passive versus active in our lives. I find, and that we are living out disempowered lives, whereas we are the ones who should be empowered because of Christ's backing. We are the ones who should be in control of our lives, our emotions, etc., our destiny, you know, when tapped into Christ versus being controlled by the world, by emotions, so we shouldn't be those who are ceding their power or their control, their personal power and control to others unnecessarily. Is something that I've come to learn. So yeah, so if you in any way wanna improve the results of your faith, this is such a great opportunity, a blessing, and a privilege whereby we get to work with God, and so we need also to do our part here. So um, that's all for this one where I speak about faith. And if you want an alive faith, not a dead, lazy faith anymore that's working in your life, then let us do our part. And that's all for this one. You're going to Shanisha. I hope you were blessed by this one and found some value. And if that's the case, please like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.